Hello everyone, this is Cynthia. My husband, old Carnivore, asked me to give you more information on my background on the problems we were having back when we first started Carnivore. Um, I mentioned in my first video that we were in bad shape, but I really didn't give you enough information. And I know Steve's told you a little bit about his health things, and I think we can even share more information on that, on how it relates to where we are today and why he has any problems at all, because Carnivore supposedly cures everything. But if you are off and on Carnivore like we have been for the last 2 years, your symptoms will come back and things will happen. But I want to tell you where we were when we started. I told you we were in bad shape. What I didn't tell you is how bad. I mean, it was bad. I had chest pain every night. It radiated down to my thumb. And before you get all upset, yes, I went to a doctor. I had all of the tests. I saw a cardiologist. That was 6 months, it was 6 months after I saw the cardiologist, and I was still not doing well. I went to the cardiologist because you try to talk yourself out of things. I sat there every night saying, no, I think it's just heartburn. I'm being silly. No, I wasn't being silly. I had serious heart problems. So I go to the cardiologist, and first thing he wants to do is he tells me, you have to get on Lipitor. And I said, well, what's that really going to do? He goes, well, you got to get on Lipitor. You got to lower your cholesterol. And I said, well, what's that really going to do? I mean, how's that going to fix my heart problems? It's not going to unclog my arteries, as far as I know. And so, and I think that he was telling me I had to take nitroglycerin, or was that a different, I don't remember. But they weren't going to fix the problem. The problem was, that if I have a heart attack, I can come in and maybe they'll open my chest up and give me some, rip out some of my veins, turn them inside out, and sew them into my heart to keep perfusing it. But he wasn't even offering that. He wasn't offering any solutions. His only solution was Lipitor. And I mean, I've seen this man off and on for the last 10 years, and that is his only solution. And I said to him, well, what if I don't want to take Lipitor? What can I do? He says, well, you can have a chemical stress test. And I said, okay, well, what then? What happens after the chemical stress test? You'll know more about my heart, I imagine, or you'll know more about my physical overall condition, what my tolerance levels are. And he says, yeah. I says, and then what? And he says, well, then I'll put you on Lipitor. I'm like, well, what else do you have? He says, well, and he gave me some other tests, and I says, and then what happens? He goes, then I put you on Lipitor. So all of the funneling of my health care went to, then we put you on Lipitor. And I didn't want to go on Lipitor. I knew Lipitor had a lot of side effects. And I knew, I mean, look at me. I have gray hair. Don't you think I have a lot of friends who have gray hair? And a lot of them are on Lipitor. And I'm not saying that that's not a good choice for them. That might be a great choice for them. But for me, it wasn't. And I got to tell you, some of those people aren't around anymore. And they were on Lipitor right up until the day they died. And I guess I figured I'm going to be off Lipitor till the day I die. So there's that. Didn't mean to go off on too many tangents, but started on a high-fat, zero-carb diet, which is the truest carnivore. Lots and lots of fat. More fat than Steve, in fact, because, short little fat ladies need a lot of fat. And the more fat I ate, the more fat I lost. I dropped 65 pounds. I told you I started at 242. I lost 65 pounds in about 5 months. In fact, I've got show and tell time. Here's what I was wearing before I went on the diet. Well, if I can hold it up hard enough. Look at this. Oh, you can't even see all the way side to side. Yeah, yep, big old pants. Yes. And those aren't even the worst. I think I gave away all my big old pants. Got rid of a lot of stuff, like bags and bags of clothes that were just way too big. And I still got a long way to go. I've gained back about 15 because I became carnivore-esque, or, kind of pretend carnivore. Yeah, I kind of slid into the not as good as I should be, and I probably think that Steve's current health situations are because we were just not as strict as we could have been. And if you're out there and you're going to start carnivore, you're going to feel great. A lot of your healthcare problems are going to go away. You're going to get what I call the healing carnivore gut, which is even better than being in ketosis, although you are in ketosis. But once you get that really good carnivore gut, that's when you start to really feel awesome. And many of your healthcare problems fade away. And I'll talk about that later on. But I just want to tell you about what else I was. Not only was I having chest pain, I have what is called COPD. Now that's chronic obstructive lung disease. A lot of you people have it. I got a lot of it under control by, just walking every day. Me and Steve went to the park. We walked up hills, we walked down hills. And when I say that, I mean we went to this park that was meandering through the woods next to a stream. It's awesome. If ever you get it to Northeast Ohio, let me know. I'll tell you where it is. We would walk from bench to bench because sometimes making it to that first bench was the best we could do for like a week. And then we thought, wow, we're brave. We made it to the second bench. And it took us 2 or 3 years to make it all the way end to end 5 miles. And that was up one hill, and I mean up a hill. I mean, it's in a valley and you have to go, way up. And then on the other end is another hill. So you go down a hill, and then you go all the way through, and then you go up a hill. And that helped me get rid of a lot because I built up some muscles. But you still need to get rid of the cause. And if you have, and I'm a nurse, I'm telling you, I pretty much thought there's 2 kinds of emphysema. One is chronic lung disease, and the other is like where you have a narrowing of your breathing because of bronchitis. I had the kind where I had chronic lung disease. It's also known as emphysema. I was not exchanging gases at the base of my lung. I got another show and tell for you. This is something we had every day. Every day I had this. You stick it on your finger, and it tells you what your oxygen level was. I would get up in the morning and I would start at 91. That was my best. Now, after the first year of carnivore, I was at 98. Now, they told me that wasn't even possible, to be at 98%. It's percentage of oxygen. You were all supposed to be at 100%. 100% is breathing in and out and exchanging gases. That's normal. Most people, and a lot of people, are at 100%. Steve, he smoked 3 packs a day for nearly 50 years. He went in the hospital and he was at 100% when he's on carnivore. I went from getting up in the morning at 91%, and then if I did anything, you can imagine it dropped like a rock. There were times when I would sit down, I'd put this thing on, I'd be at 85, and I would just have to just sit and wait for my oxygen levels to come up before I could move. And sometimes, you adjust to this. This is terrible. You really do. Us old people, I can't tell you what kind of obstacles we work under. But when I was on carnivore, I was eating a lot of fat, and it's not just, meat, it's fat. That's the misconception. It's high fat, zero carbs. And I kept my carbs mostly under 50 because I did have a pickle with my burger, you know, mostly under 35, in the beginning. But I shot for zero, high fat, zero carbs, and that was, a lot. It was not easy to do, and I'll tell you about that sometime. But yes, I had COPD. I had changes in my lung tissue that caused me to have a lessening of the ability to exchange gases to get enough oxygen in and enough CO2 out. And that was my life, and it limited me. Going up and down the stairs, that was like once up the stairs, and then you stay there. You don't run down to get another cup of coffee or something. That was it. You take what you want with you. But the other thing is that I didn't sleep at night. And one of the reasons I didn't sleep at night is because I had this terrible lump in my gut. It was an inflamed gut. I thought it was constipation. I thought it was, I was packed full of poop. Couldn't understand why it was so hard and why it hurt so much. And, I was taking, and I'm sharing with you here, 2 Senna, which is a pill that makes you go to the bathroom every morning. 2, not just 1, 2. And 2 Senna every night so that I would get up in the morning and go. And when you take that much Senta, you go whenever they tell you, whenever your body just goes. So I was wearing Depends. Not proud of it, and it's not something I really want to share with the world, but it's a fact. I had to buy Depends because sometimes you're out and about and you don't make it to the bathroom. Even at home, I don't always make it to the bathroom when you're taking that much Senta. And it wasn't just the Senta. It wasn't just trying to go. It was everything was hard. So I started taking Colace. First, I would take one of the regular old Colace, 100 milligram Colace every day, and it's a stool softener. Everybody knows those little red clear pills. Capsules. It's a stool softener. Makes you go. Softens up your stool. Well, still couldn't go. So I started taking 2. That's 200 milligrams. Then I started taking 2 at night. That's 400 milligrams. Then I started taking 250 milligrams of Colace. And yeah, that's not cheap. None of this stuff is cheap, all these extra things that you have to do just to go to the bathroom. But still, my gut all the way across my body hurt. It hurt. It was hard. I couldn't sometimes roll over at night without this rock inside my gut. I went and saw a woman, gastroenterologist, and she was just like, wow, that's hard. And I'm like, yeah, what do I do? She's like, oh, I don't know. Get a colonoscopy. You would think after being cleaned out for that colonoscopy, I would have connected the dots that it's not about what's the poop that's left in my gut that's making me hard. It's about my gut being inflamed. And that went away. That went away the first month. I was shocked. I was shocked. My chest pain's gone. My breathing is improving. And my gut is just not inflamed. It's like a little miracle. I didn't need any Colace. I didn't need any Senta. And I didn't need any Depends. It was just really, really awesome. So my quality of life wasn't that great, and I would spend all night of every night with these horrible, horrible leg pains. And I told you, I got gray hair. All of us little old gray-haired people, we sit around and we talk about our symptoms. And there were other ladies who were like, oh yeah, I'm up all night and I've got, we have a whole circle of how do you treat this. I was buying this Aspercreme with lidocaine lotion, get up in the middle of the night, put it all over my leg, get out the heating pad, put it on my leg, jump up and down because, that's how you kind of ease up on the cramps, walk. Nothing you want to do like walking around the house in the dark because you can't turn on the lights. because then you are up, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then at 4, and then at 6. I mean, the leg pains, sometimes I thought, wow, these cramps are going to break my leg. Those were gone. Yeah. No, no, no medicines. They were gone. The other thing is that when we would go to the park, I had a little pink backpack. And in my little pink backpack, I had Pepsid and I had Gas X. And we had a couple bottles of water. And I had my little oxygen thing. And I had my inhaler. And I would wait till we got to the first ramp or whatever, not a ramp, but incline. I would wait till we got to the first incline to go up towards over the bridge, the bridge going over the creek, and I would two puffs to get me up over the bridge. Then we would walk. Now you're only supposed to do this every 2 or 3 hours, but coming back, I'd need 2 puffs to get me back over the bridges. And when I'd go to the grocery store, get in the car, go to the grocery store, sit in the parking lot, 2 puffs before you go in the store. Because you can't walk around the store. You can't push the cart. I mean, this was life. This was how you limit your life. The medications I had to order the Spiriva from Canada because it was so expensive. And then finally it was completely covered by the insurance company. But a month, 6 weeks into this, I stopped using it. I was scared, to stop using it, but I did. I stopped using it. Trying to think of all the other things, the fatigue. How about the depression? What's really funny, and I found a Facebook post that I had that talked about last year, after 1 year on Carnivore, and the tone was joy. The tone was joy because I was just like, wow, I can't believe I'm smiling. I can't believe I feel like this. I can't believe how I just feel happy all the time. Well, sure, I'm getting more oxygen. I've got more energy. I'm losing weight. I don't have leg cramps. I don't have this gut pain. I don't have this rock inside me. Of course I'm feeling happy. Things are better. The bad thing is, and like most people, I'm not perfect. And I start to add things. First we add mustard. I told you about the lemon and then the garlic powder, and I think I'll keep that. But then we have mustard, and I don't even think mustard's that bad. Then I have a dill pickle. Then I have to have, I don't know. Then I make excuses. Oh, it won't be so bad if I have, like I said, a slice of watermelon. Problem with us is that a slice of watermelon isn't going to do it. We have to have a watermelon, half a watermelon every day, every other day. Big bowl of watermelon, or just we make excuses and then we start to slide, or then we're like, oh, maybe one bologna sandwich, after a year. That's not so bad. Problem is that we can't have one. We're like bologna sandwich addicts. We have to have one. Have to have 5, to be honest with you. But, and then trying to think of the other thing besides the depression. Well, anyway, I still feel great. I'm not depressed. But what I'm telling you is, if and when you do this, stick with it. I'm going to get back on it strict. I've been semi-strict for the last couple weeks, but now I'm going to get back on it strict. In fact, I'm going to start getting rid of coffee. That's going to be number 1. And I'm going to start getting my fat and 0 carbs. And I'm going to record that journey. And if you'd like to come along with me, I'll be posting it. I'll probably be starting tomorrow or the next day, very, very soon. One reason I didn't start sooner is because, well, I didn't even want to record this. I'm going to get my hair cut. It's in my eyes. Don't like it. I don't know. I think that's enough time for today. What do you think? I'll see you maybe tomorrow.